think that the magazine influences the amount they actually spend?
I do, yes,
Yeah.
because we are the only magazine in the market, and I think there hasn't been anything like it before, so it was difficult for brides to have an idea of what they wanted. Whereas now they're being inspired by the pictures in the magazine, because obviously it's hugely indulgent, the flowers are always so beautiful, and I think then they're realising, God, actually I want more.
It is quite hard for florists often to find the time to promote themselves properly. That you're running a business, you're very busy, you've got money coming in, but how do you find the time to actually do sort of speculative stuff? So Kate finds that she gets lots of florists ringing her up saying, how can I get my stuff in your magazine? And she's like, well, send me pictures, send me just a few pictures from your portfolio, show me what your work looks like, and if it's good then fine, provide the case for shoot and we'll very happily feature you. But she's saying it's very interesting that the number of people who ring up versus the number of people who actually send their work in is very, very low. That people are interested but they just can't quite find the time to do it. And what I do is just get in the middle, get in the way, and make sure that I'm there to support the florist. Kate gets what she needs, the florists get what they need, and I'm happy to look at everything. So.
But you said that this project's only been going on in England for a little while, isn't it? Because it was in Australia
before. Using proper florists and using floristry from this country, yes. There's things with wedding flowers as magazines, it's become increasingly successful. All the copies are selling out very, very quickly, so naturally we need more flowers to put in it.
But some of the designs that are coming through are quite innovative, they're sort of really original. What sort of response does that usually get?
I think people are delighted to see it. I know certainly the brides are like, well, it's just so much. Often when people are getting married, they've never bought flowers out. They've bought flowers for their friends, they bought flowers for the kitchen table, but they've never ever bought flowers on a major scale for any event. So where on earth do you start? It's really complex. You've got people buttoning from all sides. So
because you spoke about the catwalk, you said one of your friends did something for a fashion shoot.
Oh yes, yes. You can. This is the opportunity when working with stylists to show inspiring stuff, to show the sort of designs which you might never go to a floristry competition, but it's a chance to experiment and just push yourself a little bit further. And these magazines are an inspirational tool. Every bride comes into the florist shop with a copy in her hand saying, I want something like this, but I want it different, I want my own version. So they're never going to say, I want that one off the page there. What they're going to do is use it as an inspiration. In terms of this country, we've always imported a lot of flowers, simply because we're an island. We're very, very tightly packed here, and the weather's rubbish. So in terms of people have a voracious appetite for flowers, and they've got to come from somewhere. These days we import about 85% of our flowers from Holland, Kenya, Israel, wherever. It doesn't matter. There are good English growers in this country, but they tend to specialise in interesting niche stuff. It will be good Lysianthus.
And the pricing can be quite different from English to Dutch.
Well, yeah, this is true. But I mean, it's a global market. Valentine's Day is a very good example. People whinge about the cost of red roses on Valentine's Day. And then you say, well, look at it this way. You've got one day, 8 billion people in the world, and all of them want red roses. They don't want pink ones, they don't want blue ones, they want red ones, right? So you're competing with Russia, Japan, the USA, they all want roses, and that is naturally supply and demand. It's a real capitalist market out there. It will push the prices up. If you don't want to pay through the nose on Valentine's Day, I always say just buy something else. Buy tulips, buy whatever, there's tons of flowers available that time of year that are natural, and roses don't naturally bloom in February either. So when you think about it, you're not, if you're buying roses, you're buying a pretty scarce product. And likewise with any type of floristry, the fact is that the market is fluid.
What about a bottle of Evian there? If you could stay on that, that'd be great.
I'll just remove this.
in the past, I don't think florists have been forthcoming enough about their pricing structures, that they haven't been, because things change so fluidly, they haven't bothered to mark things up, and it becomes a bit intimidating for the customer. They go in, they think, wow, this is amazing, and before they know it, they've gathered up a huge bundle of the most expensive flowers in the shop, and they're shocked when they get to the till and it's £45. The fact is that if everything was more clearly marked, then they'd be able to make decisions themselves. The one thing the supermarkets always do is they very clearly mark up, so they know what they're buying and they know how much it costs.